Hello, welcome back to another segment in excerpts from A Spiritual Ascension. Today, I want to speak on the question of twin flames, which seems to always pique everyone's interest. A lot has been said about the journey, um, the reality, um, if there is a true twin flame connection or if it's a real thing. I think the problem with twin flames is that if there is such a thing, which I'll elaborate on more so, um, that it's been taken out of context. So it's just like when you think about the awakening process or and having an awakening. And then it's kind of now used as being woke or waking up. It's kind of become a what do you call it, a cultural norm to say someone's woke. And that's kind of how I feel about the twin flame. Somebody has gotten wind of the wording of twin flame and kind of just ran with it. And it's not no longer properly used as it should be used. So I'm going to try to stay away from that term because just because culturally it attracts those who are not in true twin flame, if you want, again, if you want to call it that type of relationships. Do I believe that there is a spiritual soulmate connection that happens during your, or I should say after your ascension process? Yes. I'm probably going to break this video up into 3 to 4 different videos because there's a lot on this topic. So initially, I want to talk about kind of what is said about twin flames, that it's supposed to be. I've heard different things as far as that it's supposed to be one soul that has kind of broken into two souls, and those two souls kind of join on Earth to and have different experiences and then eventually meet up and have this beautiful life together, which could be. Um, I do feel that whoever is your soul connection, you have had many lives with them. And I do believe, again, this is my belief, that you meet up in each lifetime, but it's this very important lifetime now where you've ascended. You've also have gotten rid of all your karma. So you both are in a point of being able to meet at a different place, not no longer carrying that karma with you. There's also the thing of the false twin flame, you want to say. I said I was going to stay away from that term, but just so you know what I'm referring to. And I do believe that exists also because I've experienced that where there was a person who I just swore up and down, knew they were my twin flame. And I don't want to say that they were my false twin flame. I do believe that I probably have had a relationship with them in a past lifetime because the connection was so strong. And there was that, they want to say the, what you call it, runner chaser type of thing going on. But Another thing of it said that there's a karmic or a karmic person who comes back into your twin flame's life and kind of steals them from you, which did happen in my case. And so that's why I swore up and down that this was my twin flame. And I can't say. I know there was a deep soul connection because of the circumstances and the way I felt, and that they were also very spiritual too. But, and everything played out as would a typical twin flame relationship um, would have. And that's why I swore up and down. That's why in another video, I tell you to do your research. And I think in another video, I said something about understanding illusions. And that was a big thing for me because the things that I read about, heard about as far as twin flames, and when that experience happened to me, I'm like, this is okay, this is exactly what everyone is saying, what I'm reading about. It played out exactly the way a twin flame relationship was supposed to play out. And just devastated when that relationship ended. And still held on to the belief because they say that, the person leaves your life and it may be a couple months, maybe a couple years until that person returns back to you. And I was under the illusion that this person would eventually return. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. And after a couple years, I reached out to the person, and I had gained more spiritual knowledge by that time. I also was developing more self confidence and more self worth, which is part of the ascension process, is no longer being a people pleaser and knowing your own self worth. And when talking to this person, I see that they didn't change and that I had changed and that this was not my person. So allowing myself to let that go and then heal from that. Again, I say I base this all on my own experience, what I tell you, and I believe that, again, everyone's experience is going to be different, but just wanting to warn you that the person who you may identify as this twin flame may not be the person that you will end up with. I do believe that we do eventually end up with the right person who is supposed to connect deeply with us. And that's going to be a whole nother video. The main purpose of this journey is for you to ascend, and a great majority, you're going to say, are probably going to be alone during that journey. The reason why you need to be alone is because you need to focus on doing all of your healing and doing all of your working through all of the trauma that you've gone through, also elevating your psychic abilities, your intuition, and also, what was I going to say? Being alone, elevating your psychic abilities, healing. I, I'll come to the back to that one. There's something else I wanted to say. Um, Part of that elevating your intuition is being able to understand something I call spiritual navigation. So, where the universe is taking you to, and you need to, during that time, be at be one-on-one with the universe so that there's no distractions from anywhere else, from anyone else. And that's why I spent a lot of time alone. And eventually you learn that you're never alone. And actually, I kind of crave the aloneness now, because when there's so much chatter around you from other people or other things going on, that I always feel like I need to connect back with spirit as soon as possible to get that peace again. So, not going off topic. I think I'm going to leave it there for this video. Hopefully, I remember what the other thing is, but I'll kind of mention it in the next video. But thank you so much for being here. I hopefully I've kind of touched upon the twin flame um, aspect for yourself. And again, I'm going to do a couple more videos on this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you are interested in talking to me about, more twin flame information, about any other things with your journey, ascension, my journey, feel free to book time with me. Also, I've done several courses on the ascension process, and the link for that is also below. Okay, I'll see you next time.